If there was one time of the year that you would expect PlayStation fanboys to actually shut up for once, it would be Christmas. But unfortunately, these truly sad individuals dedicated their Christmas to the console wars, desperately attempting to make Christmas more about fighting over their special little boxes of plastic than spending time with their families. I quite literally can go 5 minutes on Twitter without seeing at least 1 or 2 tweets from Sony ponies crying over Xbox on Christmas Day. Now how on earth you can become this sad is truly beyond me. It takes an incredible lack of basic human functionality to get involved in the console wars on Christmas Day. I'm not going to lie, I highly doubt any of these people are loved by their families, but at least try to spend time with your family on Christmas Day instead of taking part in a ridiculous battle of the plastic boxes. Neither console is objectively better than the other. They both have their flaws and they both have their strengths. Instead of fanboying for one, just play some video games. I will never understand how it's possible for people to dedicate themselves to faceless corporations who obviously do not give a flying fuck about them. You do not owe any company anything unless you're in debt, but that's besides the point. The fact these people essentially dedicate the majority of their days to companies like Sony, who regularly try to scam them through paid next-gen upgrades, is unbelievably pathetic in it of itself, but continuing that bullshit on Christmas Day takes it to a whole new level. But hey, hiding behind that "it's just a joke" card is surely going to protect all of them from any criticism, because as we all know, if you are joking then you definitely don't mean what you are saying. The problem here is that everyone in this video does mean what they were saying, and although they may have been making jokes, they certainly are not joking. So without further delay, let's get into the sweet Sony pony soul. When you get an Xbox Series S instead of a PS5 for Christmas, hashtag stay salty. I really shouldn't be surprised that Salty's Gaming out of all people couldn't even give up console warring on Christmas Day, especially considering the fact the next day he posted well-known factually incorrect revenue listings in order to try and slob on the knob of Sony, and then when he got called out on it by numerous people, asked them why they called him out on it. I don't know, maybe to call you out and spreading blatantly false information on Boxing Day. The saddest part about all of this is I'm pretty sure Salty's Gaming is in his mid-30s bare minimum, and he is guaranteed to be a full-grown man crying on Twitter about what plastic box company is doing better, according to factually incorrect listings. But either way, nobody is going to be angry that they got an Xbox Series S for Christmas, apart from a few spoiled brats and a few fanboys. Most people do not give a shit about what system they have, so long as they can play Apex Legends, Fortnite, Rocket League, COD and Battlefield, plus a few more. The vast majority of people do not care for PlayStation exclusives or even Xbox exclusives, with the exceptions of Halo and Spider-Man. And trust me, any kid on Christmas is just going to be happy they got a new console. At most they're going to be sad they can't play Spider-Man for a couple days, like I was sad as a kid for a day when I found out I couldn't play Halo on my PS3. The only people who would unironically care to a high degree are spoiled brats and pathetic man-children on Twitter. No one else. Pray for all the children you see forcing smiles in photos with Xbox Series S today. I mean, the only person I'm going to be praying for, and the only person my audience will more than likely be praying for in this situation, is you. I know I'll be praying that hopefully one day you'll wake up and realize how completely as well as utterly pathetic fanboying for companies is. I mean, sure, you may get 270 likes on Twitter, but at the same time, it's Twitter, and your audience isn't exactly the most intelligent either. After all, they more than likely also sim from multi-billion-dollar companies. As I said earlier, there will be a shit ton of kids happy they got an Xbox for Christmas, and there will also be shit tons of kids happy that they got a PS5. Right now, whatever console kids get is mainly dependent on two things: what system is available at the time that parents buy, and what console they previously owned. Most kids, if they do get an Xbox, will be more than grateful and happy. As much as you ponies love to act like exclusives actually matter, they don't. Kids just want to play Fortnite along with many multi-platform games, and either way, what kid is going to be forcing smiles in photos when they see the amount of games they love, like Minecraft, available on Xbox Game Pass? Because most people getting an Xbox this Christmas will also get Game Pass. Xbox has a long way to go to catch up to PlayStation. Imagine it's Christmas. You're out with your family having a lovely meal, and instead of talking to them or using some of the gifts you were given, likely video games, since this is obviously someone who plays them, and instead of playing said games or at least talking to their family, they've decided to hop on Twitter and say Xbox has a long way to catch up to PlayStation, even though neither company is playing catch up overall. They are using two entirely different strategies, both of which are working incredibly well. PlayStation is trying to slowly integrate PlayStation with PC gaming via PC ports, and to also at the same time continue what they've previously done, whereas Microsoft's strategy is to focus on offering as much value as possible on as many platforms as possible. Xbox isn't a console, it's a brand, and that's something Sony ponies love to ignore. PlayStation is also becoming more than just a console. They could survive without the PS5 just like Xbox could easily survive without their console. The thing with this console war is that it makes no sense. These plastic boxes are just that. They aren't keeping either company alive, and in some areas Xbox is playing catch up with Sony, most notably the single player games market, and in some areas PlayStation is playing catch up to Xbox, most notably the PC market. If you think just one system is ahead of the other, you are blatantly wrong. Neither of the two main boxes of plastic are better than the other, no matter how much you desperately try to convince yourself of that. PlayStation is king, Merry Christmas. If we're being realistic, the real king right now is PC gaming. We are getting both PS5 exclusives and Xbox exclusives. I personally cannot wait to see all the stuff that's about to arrive when Ghost of Tsushima gets announced for PC, along with the rest of the games Nvidia leaked, aka games like Horizon Forbidden West. I already know there is going to be an unfathomable amount of salt produced single-handedly from Forbidden West coming to PC, because it's one of those games that Sony ponies have been clinging onto for dear life recently, and I am more than excited to milk that shit for ad revenue, not gonna lie. Be grateful and be happy. Think about those who got a Series S from Santa today. Poor children will be getting the Horizon experience on their Series S. Crying emoji. I don't even know what the fuck this man is talking about when he says a Horizon experience. Like I know it's LED, who regulars here will know is one of the most infamously moronic Sony ponies, but this is a whole new level of degeneracy even for him. I mean, I seriously have to find out what drugs this man is taking so that I can use it to spice up my Sony pony soul, because clearly it is doing wonders for him. Dude probably saw that Craig cross with Aloy image in one of his trips and decided to make it a reality. Also gotta partially agree with Hyped here. Everyone who did get a PS5 should be grateful and happy. However, anyone who got a Series X/S should also be grateful and happy as well, because guess what? All of the next gen consoles are good systems. Ain't seen a single "yay I got an Xbox Series X for Christmas" tweet yet. Well, that's probably because you are a Sony pony and are probably flat out lying that you didn't see them, because along with the insane amount of tweets like this guy's crying about Xbox on Christmas Day, I saw a decent amount of people celebrating the fact that they got an Xbox the way it should be. Instead of crying like the man children you are, grow the fuck up and enjoy Christmas. It really shouldn't be difficult for someone to not go a day without bringing up console war bullshit, let alone struggling to not do it on Christmas Day. It is pure insanity that these people are so out of touch with the real world that they could even take a day off from fanboying for PlayStation during Christmas. Merry Christmas, but also a moment of silence for all those who wish for a PS5 but woke up to an Xbox Series S this morning. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, for fuck's sake Mischief, we've seen this tweet already. Give us real Sony pony tears. Well, the best part about this tweet in particular is that he backtracked and cried about receiving backlash over this obviously piss poor attempt at being funny. Wow, I just came back to this and I legitimately regret tweeting it. I did not expect it to upset so many people. Most understood it was not meant to be taken seriously, but I've received some very intense replies. It is what it is, but lesson learned here. It's almost like when a channel that's dedicated to PlayStation makes a shitty quote-unquote joke that we all know you meant seriously, people are going to keep that same energy with you. Also, you may want to take some notes from one of your past tweets. Stop giving a fuck what other people are doing. Enjoy the platform you enjoy and stop fanboying for it. It's really not that difficult. In no world do you have to try and mock people on Christmas Day over what plastic box they wanted or got. You're a grown-ass man. Act like it. Go spend your Christmas with people instead of taking part in an entirely pointless console war on Twitter. Come on Xbox, make a wish, it's Christmas. It is truly embarrassing when you can't even make a joke which makes sense. Next gen would be the next generation after the Xbox Series X and PS5 now, which makes it more than possible for Xbox to overtake PlayStation. There is after all about 8 years for them to do it in. It's also embarrassing to be tweeting console war memes on Christmas Eve. Like, come on, touch some goddamn lovely ass grass. Receiving an Xbox as a gift versus receive a PS5. Happy Christmas. You know, I challenge these people to have a New Year's resolution of touching some grass and quitting being some of the most toxic as well as pathetic people in the gaming industry, but we all know they are almost completely incapable of self-awareness. So the hope I have of them changing is essentially non-existent at this point. It's hard to have faith in humanity when people like this exist. If you can't even stop fanboying for PlayStation during Christmas, there is absolutely no hope left for you. Now I am personally about to overdose on Sony Pony Soul, which means as per usual we have finally come to the end of this video. So with all that being said, please do not forget to do all the things YouTubers love to beg you to do, aka check out my Discord server, follow me on Twitter, as well as like, comment and subscribe. So that I will see you all in the next video.